The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside, as is Brian Haynes. It is a Fantasy Football Friday. Welcome in, and thank you. Follow, like, and share the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. And last night in the NBA, you guys were right. I guess I got to take my lump on this one. The Clippers win Game 3, 106-92. Chris Paul back for the Phoenix Suns. Didn't look like it really helped all that much. Yeah.
It hurt. It straight up, it hurt.
I don't want to say you're right.
But I am right.
But you are.
The team played slower. The offense looked disjointed, and it 100% made Devin Booker, who people were comparing to Kobe Bryant 24 hours ago, look like Devin Booker.
Yeah. I was like, slow down on the Kobe comparisons.
Yeah, I've said that a few times.
Now, is there a case to be made that this was just the feeling out process? This is just,
There's a case to be made for all kinds of things, but Chris Paul was moving like me. Oh, Jesus, Jehovah.
Oh, goodness. Jeremy's injured.
Jeremy hurt his back, and this sucks a lot. I frankly, I wish one of these guys would just hit me in the head with a very large stick and end this all.
Right. Anyway, Chris Paul being back, I was hoping that it was going to give them that little extra push.
It didn't.
But it didn't. It didn't. Everything moved slower. I don't know if that was intentional of, hey, let's slow this thing down. But, you've been winning at a fast pace. You need to be able to keep it up. I don't know that last night was it a sign that Chris Paul just physically couldn't do that, or was that part of the game plan?
No, I'm not saying he can't physically do it. I'm saying they looked brutal last night.
Right.
And as soon as campaign went out, it was, we don't have a second gear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never thought I would say in a Western Conference Finals game that the pivot point was campaign getting hurt. Mm-hmm. Campaign, who infamously got to Chicago, and it took them 2 practices to go, he cannot play.
But, I mean, that speaks to campaign, does it not?
Yes.
To his growth as a player. He's much better than he used to be.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to try to take the wait and see approach. I felt like this was maybe just one of those, hey, Chris is coming back, let's get him acclimated to this again, and it was just kind of an anomaly. I did think that the Clippers were going to win Game 3 anyways. Right. So I'm going to wait to see what happens in Game 4 if they've kind of figured this, how Chris Paul fits into this now, fast-paced offense. Yeah. And figure out what's going to happen, because it's just hard for me to assume that a team is better without Chris Paul than with Chris Paul. But I could see where that could be pushed after watching what we watched last night.
Right.
Jonathan Wells said, I'm just here for the non-NBA content.
We're getting there.
Me too. Me too. You got to get through one little recap of the game, and me, Colin Cowherd, a moron. That's it.
Yeah.
Take like 8 minutes.
Yeah. Phoenix Suns up 2-1 in the series now. Clippers have now won 3 straight Game 3s.
First team in NBA history to ever go down 2-0 in 3 consecutive series.
Yeah. Right.
In the same playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think they could do it. I think the Phoenix Suns will figure something out here.
I'm just loving seeing my guy T-Man doing SVP show after games.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
They were behind the game. They did this on purpose so they wouldn't have the long layover. They were already ahead 2 games in the series over the Eastern Conference. They were going to have a long wait if they swept out this series. So they didn't.
Is that what it was?
Uh-huh. I'm going to tell you this for now the 3rd time. The NBA Finals starts on the same day no matter who wins what. It starts July 8th, period.
Yes.
If these both end in 5 games, it still starts on July 8th. Mm-hmm. It's the one series that always starts on the same date no matter what happens.
Right.
No layovers, no none of that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just bad. Yeah. Just bad.
Just bad.
Just bad. That's all it was.
All right. Jason Kidd's getting the Dallas Mavericks job.
Woo! exactly
who didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Dallas Mavericks are running it back 2008 style.
All right, what about Colin Cowherd? What
Okay,
did he
I
say that
have to
makes him
say
an
this
idiot?
because it has been just infuriating me on a daily basis. The next person that tells me, look at the NBA ratings, they've surged. They're up 39%. Yeah, from the lowest shit you've ever had in your life. You threw a 6-5-2 game sevens. And that's what everybody's leaning on. Colin Cowherd basically called people like me morons yesterday on his show on Fox Sports. So I felt like as the conservative moderator, I should come back and go, nope, you're being disingenuous and you know it. There's a 40% surge in game sevens historically in the NBA, no matter the round. Mm-hmm. So that puts you in like a 4.5 to 5 million for most of these games.
Yeah.
That's baseball playoff ratings. Congratulations. That's what you are. You're now a niche sport. Ta-da. The NBA is now a niche sport. Mm-hmm. And frankly, everything that doesn't end in football.
Yep.
If it doesn't end in football, it does not hit to the mainstream. Mm-hmm. I told him yesterday, the last baseball story that really hit the mainstream. You want to take a stab at that? Brian, I don't know if you were listening to the show or not.
What was the last mainstream baseball story that was on the field related? Not related to a scandal, cheating, anything like that.
And that's what we were talking about the other day, how there's so many things they could be pushing and it's not. Mm-hmm. I can't. Maybe Madison Bumgarner's run in the playoffs?
I would argue it's Barry Bonds. Here's what I say. Here is my consideration for mainstream. My mother, who does not watch sports, knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
The last story that I could say that about was Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
That's the last three in baseball. Mm-hmm. And now I didn't say this yesterday. What was it in the NBA? The last on-court. The last on-court thing that happened that hit the mainstream.
I mean, hell, I would believe that it was the LeBron's stretch to a title last year.
Mainstream. People who do not watch sports knew this, in large part knew this happened and cared.
Probably Kobe Shaq.
I wouldn't say Kobe Shaq. I'd say it's Kobe's retirement.
Yeah.
Kobe's retirement game is probably the last thing that just complete non-NBA fans could tell you about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's been aggressive.
Yeah. Which is why we're talking about football.
Yeah. It's a Fantasy Football Friday. Everybody's getting ready for their drafts. You may have already had your dynasty drafts. We are still making plans for the Campus to Canton Football League. We'll be releasing more details on that coming up very, very shortly, because we do understand that the calendar is getting tight for the fantasy dynasty
We're
drafts.
kind of looking at the weekend after 4th of July.
Yeah.
So kind of, right?
Yeah, that looks to be the target right now.
Yeah. So
we still got some things to figure out.
Yeah.
On that one, but we're going to be playing fantasy football with you this year, and we frankly cannot wait for it. So as you're getting ready for your drafts, obviously you got a lot of questions. So all of your questions, throw them at us.
Yep.
Whatever fantasy football thing you can think of, we will entertain those questions, try to answer those questions, and debate those questions as well. Now, to me, running backs are still, it's been kind of the rebirth of the running back in the NFL. Remember a few years ago, it was like, oh, running backs aren't worth a damn. Now, I think we're back to the point where you're going to be fucked if you try to start a draft without your running backs.
Hit the buzzer.
That one? This one? That one?
You do have to turn the sound on. Buttons. I love buttons. I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Really?
Yep. My number one goal, the number one player I am after in fantasy football in round one this year, I want to be in the backside of the first round. I want to take Travis Kelce. Because that's the biggest difference between number one to number two. Yeah. Quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. I will not take a quarterback before the 10th round, ever. Ever. Yeah. I do not give a rat's flying hairy ass who it is. I will not take a quarterback until round 10. Running backs, I'll be honest with you. There's a bunch of dudes that the masses are low on. I'm all the way in on. I'm all the way in on, let's see, guys that I'm seeing go lower. Mike Davis in the 7th round. We've talked about him a lot. Michael Carter is the number 1 for the New York Jets. Just trust me. I'm very connected to the Jets. I'm a huge Jets fan. Michael Carter's the one.
Yeah.
Now, it'll be running back by committee, and you will have games where Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson snipe him. I can get him in the 14th round, 13th round.
Yeah.
All the way in. Tank's low on Najee Harris, and I don't get it at all.
Okay, well, let's talk about that since we had some news on that yesterday.
Yeah.
Trey Turner is now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have finalized a contract, or are in the stages of finalizing the contract, after they released their starting guard yesterday, which means there's only going to be one guy starting on that offensive line from last year.
And the rest of them are 3rd and 4th round draft picks and free agents that are costing them $1 million or $2 million a year. So it's not like they're high level free agencies here. I read that yesterday, was flabbergasted because I actually saw them put who they've lost. I mean, now they've lost Pouncey to retirement, to Castro, Filer, and Alejandro Villanueva. Having to replace 4 of those guys scares the bejesus out of me, which also tells me that Ben will be dead by week 6. And
which, if that happens, means they'll run the ball more.
Yeah, but if you only get 2 yards to carry.
You run into a Saquon Barkley situation.
It does scare me.
You got a good running back there, but you don't have a line to open holes for him.
Here's the thing. You got Trey Turner. You got Zach Banner, who I do believe in. They obviously believe in a Corafor.
Sure.
Good enough for me. All in on the Najee train.
Woo-woo!
I'm all aboard. I don't give a shit. You pass on him, I'll happily take him.
Yeah.
Every share you sell, I will 100% buy.
I'm going to pass on every share. I will have him absolutely nowhere.
That seems aggressive.
I won't.
That sounds stupid.
To not have him
anywhere.
anywhere sounds aggressive. I feel like if Najee Harris is still there in the 2nd round.
Well, there's going to be somebody in your league, or there will be somebody in my league who will take him before I'm willing to.
All right, let me ask you a question. I'm just looking at this from fantasypros.com. I'm looking at current ADP of running backs.
Okay.
You tell me where your line for Najee Harris is. Cam Akers.
Better.
You'd rather say the name, not the Cam Akers, Najee Harris.
Cam Akers.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
DeAndre Swift.
That's it.
There
Najee.
it is. Miles Sanders would be the next one.
I'd take Miles Sanders before him.
I'll take Najee Harris over every guy I just said, not named Cam Akers and Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because he has no threat to his workload. The running back behind him is me. He's Mini Booger.
Right.
It's Anthony McFarland Jr., who is not actually related to Anthony McFarland.
Right, exactly.
Booger. Oh, Booger.
But it's him and Benny Snell. And I'll just say they have shown a propensity in the past to play those guys. Now, I get them most of their carries came because James Conner was friggin' injured all the time.
And horrible.
Right.
Not just injured. When he was on the field, he was terrible as well.
Right. But, I mean, do you want to throw your rookie out there and pound him every down? I think there is a little bit of competition for some of his carries there. I think what teams have learned over the years is you don't go out there and hammer a running back so much because you're going to use him up.
Especially one that had so many carries in college, too.
Don't care. Don't care.
I know.
Running backs are like hookers. Just run through them. Run through them. I mean, just at 100 miles an hour, bulletproof. Just get after it.
Yeah, no, I'm out on Najee Harris. Like I said, I will have him nowhere because there will be someone in my league that will take him ahead of where I would take him.
And that guy's name is Jeremy Greene.
Hello, friends.
Speaking of that, much love to everybody that Armchair Commentary sent me a video that is going into into the reel that I'm doing for a little side project that if you messaged me yesterday, you vaguely know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'll let you know details as it goes, but I appreciate everybody that reached out. I've got a couple more spots if somebody wants to take their sweet little smartphone and record something funny. If you just want to message me, I'll tell you what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Robert Johnson says he's picking 9th in his league. He says he's done a couple of mock drafts and has always got Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill at the top, but I think it's more wise to draft Nick Chubb. What do you think? I think at that point you go with Devontae Adams. Look, I don't know what it is about Devontae Adams. I saw an article the other day about Devontae Adams has now slipped into the second round, and I think that's a mistake.
Well, people are obviously.
There's not a receiver in the NFL I'd take the first round.
Yeah.
Really?
Ever. First round, I'm either taking Travis Kelce or the best running back on the board.
Yeah,
That's
Robert,
the only way to have an advantage going.
Robert, I think we're kind of on this path right now where we're feeling like if you can get Travis Kelce, if you're in the back, let's say, what is your Travis Kelce line, Jeremy? Is it 6? Where you would not take one of the running backs?
All right, so I got lost on how you
the Travis Kelce line. So let's just say at what pick is the
okay,
lowest?
well, I just said that I would in the first round I'm only taking running backs or tight ends.
Yeah.
Here are the running backs that I would take: Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry. Alvin Kamara gets tough because I don't know how that's going to go.
Right.
Jonathan Taylor. That's probably it.
So 5. That's 5. You
I'd
named.
probably take 6.
So Travis Kelce if you have the 6 pick or under, and Travis Kelce is available in the first round.
And if somebody snipes me on Travis Kelce, I'll happily take Austin Eckler and Joe Mixon at the turn.
Okay.
And me and my little hard wiener will just go right to the championship.
I feel like we're just kind of pushing this. We're pushing this train this year. We're feeling like the difference. We've kind of played it out there that the difference that Travis Kelce gives you starting your game is almost a 15-point advantage every single game you play.
Yeah.
Unless someone has Darren Waller or George Kittle, and you're still at a little bit of an advantage there.
Right.
So that means other than 2 weeks of the year, you have a 15-point advantage every single game. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's another player in fantasy football that gives you that type of advantage.
No.
So I think that's what we're kind of pushing. So I'm all in on that. If I'm redrafting, and I think I'm all in on what Jeremy's saying. If I'm at 6 or lower, I'm probably trying to get Travis Kelce. If not, I'm still going to draft a running back.
I like Gibson. Patrick Holt said in the comments, Antonio Gibson. I like him in the second round.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
I'm not sure he's a top 12. Even if
he's top 12 running back, he's not a top 12 pick.
Yeah. So I see like there's.
My favorite way to build a team, just throwing this out there, is to pick at 12, go Eckler, Mixon, Darren Waller, and then whatever receiver. I don't give a shit.
There's so many. There's so many receivers.
Here's just a fun comparison. Mm-hmm. Pick a random number between 20 and 30.
27.
The number 27 wide receiver is Juju Smith-Schuster. The number 27 running back is Leonard Fournette. Yep, I'm going to wait on wide receiver
until...
that's
a big damn difference.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right.
Because there's no difference. Mm-hmm. Once you get away from... I would say my line at receiver is probably DeAndre Hopkins at 4. Mm-hmm. I could understand if you said Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael Thomas. I'm just afraid that every defense in the world is going to look at Michael Thomas and just go kill him.
Mm-hmm. Are you basically almost? Are you saying that you're going in your top 3 picks? You're going tight end, running back.
That's my goal.
Yeah. So to get either Kittle, Waller, or Travis Kelce,
now if things go dumb and Kittle, Waller, and Kelce all go in the top 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've gone dumb time.
Yeah.
So now I will just feast on running backs and. Basically, whatever the rest of the league does, I do the exact opposite.
Right.
This year, I think tight ends have gotten to a point that a lot of people are not going to do. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people look at taking a tight end in the first round and go, that's dumb. No, it's really not. It's actually genius.
Yeah.
Because Travis Kelce is the biggest advantage in fantasy football.
Period.
I played in a bajillion leagues last year. I drafted Travis Kelce in 3 of them. Guess what? Won all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some metric out there, but I would say that if you had Travis Kelce on your team last year and you drafted him somewhat higher, the chances of you winning or being in the playoffs was probably an astronomical percentage.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't want to take to what Robert Johnson asked. I don't want people to take it as I'm slighting Nick Chubb, because I'm not. I like Nick Chubb. I have a fear with Kareem Hunt that he's going to be more involved this year than he was last year.
And You should be playing.
They're going to have to hide Baker Mayfield.
Well, you should be playing in a PPR league as well, and Nick Chubb doesn't give you that. Nick Chubb's going to give you he's going to give you touchdowns. See, that's the difference. That's where he makes up the difference with the PPR. Is he's going to get touchdowns. He's going to get every carry inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
It's going to be he's going to be a touchdown machine, continue to be. But Kareem Hunt has all of that all of the pass game work. So he's going to get all the PPR points. So to me, if I'm in this scenario, I mean, yes, if you can pick at 9. See, I picked at 8 in a draft recently, and I took Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it's the one thing. If you don't get the top tight ends, then, you might as well just chalk up to losing tight end.
You might as well
week
stream a tight
have
end.
The tight end whisperer here to help you play the waiver wire. Right, because I mean, it's just it's a exercise in futility to try to make sense of any tight ends past the top 3. So I'm completely with you on your strategy. Mm-hmm. I've gone in a lot of drafts and taken at least 4 running backs in the first 5 picks.
But so many people have fallen into what I've done for years and stream tight ends that now I like the advantage of not doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because now every week when you have to use your waiver priority on a tight end, I don't have to. So I can take the dart throw at a running back or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Armchair Commentary asked 2 questions that I need to go back and answer. What is Justin Jefferson's floor versus his ceiling? I would say his ceiling is he could be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football, and it wouldn't shock me in the least.
Yeah.
There you go.
I will caution you of one thing. That is his ceiling. It wouldn't shock me. I also think Dalvin Cook's going to be the most used running back in the NFL this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I honestly think Washington's going to run the ball so much with what they have in front of them.
Minnesota.
What'd I say?
Washington.
Well, fuck me running. Minnesota is going to run so much with Darisaw and Brian O'Neill that I think Alexander Madison has standalone value. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have Dalvin Cook for Alexander Madison to be playable. I don't think. Depends how deep the league is. Now, the floor, I don't see any way he falls below wide receiver 15.
Okay.
Here's something.
He'd have to get hurt to be worse than that.
Here's something I'm going to throw a little bit of caution on Justin Jefferson this year. Last year, Minnesota was a bad team, and they were down a lot last year because their defense was so down. Mm-hmm. And so they had to throw the ball a lot more than they normally would. I think Justin Jefferson's stats were a little inflated that year. I think Minnesota is a much more improved team who won't be down as much. And pointing off what just Jeremy said there, I think because of that, they're going to run the ball so much you might not see this, the 10 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown, almost every game like it seemed like.
Right.
Something you guys asked me before the show is game script. That's something that I feel like is underutilized when people draft fantasy football teams. Mm-hmm. You have to look at what you think a team is going to be. If they're going to be up a lot, you probably shouldn't like their quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now, if you think they're up a lot, they had to get there somehow. So I don't necessarily ding quarterbacks as much as I ding I don't ding quarterbacks on good teams as much as I ding running backs on bad teams.
Yeah.
It is really hard for me to get behind a running back on a bad team because you're not going to see them run them 20 times in the first half. Then they get behind, and then they become irrelevant.
Right.
So, I look at guys like just looking at the ADP. Who's on a bad team?
Joe Mixon.
He's the only running back that can catch passes.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to think about
DeAndre Swift.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs
is the one. Because they brought in Kenyon Drake to be the pass-catching back.
Yeah.
Right.
And that makes me nervous. That's taking workload away that didn't get taken away from Josh Jacobs last year.
Right.
He's being drafted where he finished last year. Mm-hmm. That would make me nervous.
Right.
Yeah.
The other question he asked was, which one of Brian's New York Giants has more fantasy appeal, Saquon Barkley or Kenny Galladay? I'm going to let you two answer this first because I have a completely different take.
Well, he says, his question was, does Saquon make a bigger difference to the Giants? Or does Galladay?
I think they're definitely going to try to run the ball more. I think it's a little bit... It's an improved offensive line than last year. The thing is, I think what's going to help Kenny Galladay is I think he's going to get a lot of big chunks because Daniel Jones can throw a deep pass. And I think if Saquon's going, I think you're going to hit some play actions to Kenny Galladay, and we're going to see some of that. I'm not putting Kenny Galladay as high as I maybe thought I would after we were. I think he's probably around that 15 range of wide receivers this year.
Kenny Galladay?
Yeah.
Well, he's currently being drafted at 22.
And I think that's probably a little too low.
Yep.
I do too.
For me, the answer is very easy. I will have Kenny Galladay a lot of places.
Yeah.
I will have Saquon Barkley exactly 0 places.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to – it's a big risk after last year.
It's so tough.
On Saquon because the offensive line isn't that much better. That's the thing.
That's why I said –
right. It wasn't a whole lot of improvement, and you got to remember how bad he looked behind that line before the
even
injury
before
happened.
he was
getting 2 yards a carry.
Yeah.
He was just running into a brick wall. And I get that, they had no threats. They weren't scared of anybody. They weren't scared of Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. So they're just stacking the box against Saquon Barkley. That's their one goal going into the game. Kenny Galladay changes that a little bit. Kenny Galladay he's a guy that they will try to stretch the field with. And Daniel Jones, look, we talk a lot of shit about Daniel Jones, but I will say this, he throws a damn good deep ball.
Yeah, he's actually one of the top 5 deep ball throwers statistically in the league.
So that's going to loosen things up for Saquon, but I definitely am on the Kenny Galladay bandwagon for this year.
If they would have maybe drafted someone in the first round, like maybe like a tackle or somebody, something, maybe instead of young Loca,
I mean, don't undersell,
or whatever his name is.
Don't undersell he who must not be named.
Yeah.
I think there is.
We can
there's something to that.
He's an absolute disaster already.
I could see the addition of Kenny Galladay as long as Daniel Jones can be half-assed is all you're asking for. And I think
personally, I want my quarterback to be full-assed. That's one of the things that I go into the season. I want a full-ass quarterback.
If my quarterback is only half-ass, I'm probably out.
But you got what you got, and you're stuck with it. But there is no excuse for him anymore.
Yeah.
There is no excuse because he has decent weapons at every position. I could see Evan Ingram having a good year this year.
I can't.
I don't. I think
because Evan Ingram has this problem of he is allergic to footballs. It's a very rare condition. I've only seen a few players in the NFL ever have this problem.
There was
Nelson Aguilar had it, and then he got a football EpiPen and learned how to catch them.
Yeah, because I don't know. There was seriously 2 games last year where I thought Evan Ingram lost the game for the Giants. 2 games.
Yeah.
That's because every time they gave him the ball, he went, no, fuck that ball.
I'm like, catch the ball.
By the way,
but he's still one of Daniel Jones' favorite targets, and so he's going to have the opportunities.
You were talking about Kadarius Toney.
We're Jeremy.
He who should not be named.
Nope. He shall be named.
Damn it.
ESPN did an article yesterday of the beat writer for each team that had a first-round pick. All 32 first-round picks.
Yep.
31 of them were glowing reviews. And then we got to Kadarius Toney, which was,
Yeah.
oh, wait. This is not good at all.
Right.
Like, I just implore you to look at his tweet back at New York fans who were basically, telling him to stop with the rapping thing and after he released a video. And I implore you to see what he actually wrote if you can actually discern it from actual writing.
Right.
And then tell me what you would think about this guy. Everything he's doing is basically proving my point to why I was so upset on day one.
Well, I didn't tell him this earlier. I told him there was a player, but I didn't tell him who it was. He sat out minicamp because his contract wasn't done yet, which is super weird. Nobody does that because you have insurance protections that keep that from busting your child.
Right.
Even if you get hurt with the contract unsigned, it changes nothing.
Right.
I've seen one player ever do that. Josh Rosen. It's the only player I've ever seen do that. He sat out to make sure the deal got signed before he went to practice.
Right. Support for the Sportsocracy is brought to you by our good friends at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com today. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get 20% off of your purchase, like the new 4th generation lawnmower 4.0. It is one of these precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Over 2 million men worldwide trust Manscaped, and you should too. I trust Manscaped, and I've been feeling freer ever since getting my Lawnmower 4.0. It's a great experience. The advanced skin-safe technology takes care of the things that I love most in the world.
Yeah. Your balls?
Yeah.
Your meaty clackers.
Look, no one else is going to love those ugly, dangly things but me. And damn it, I'm going to treat them right. And you should too, with all of the products at Manscaped, not just the Lawnmower 4.0, but they also have other things to help spruce up your undercarriage.
There's nothing better than a nice wrapper for your snapper slapper.
We all trust Manscaped,
yes,
and you should too. Use this exclusive offer, Sportsocracy. Use the promo code at manscaped.com and get 20% off of your purchase, as well as free worldwide shipping. 20% off, free worldwide shipping. All you got to do is use our promo code Sportsocracy at manscaped.com, and your balls will thank you.
And we need 5 more activations to make them a permanent fixture here of the Sportsocracy.
Yeah.
So anybody that uses the promo code, if you share it, however you do it, anybody that uses that promo code, send me a PM and I will give you one U.S. hug.
Right.
Or I will not give you one, depending on how you feel about it. That is the second time I've said that in the show, and I don't think it'll be the last. I'm just going to threaten people with 6'5", 280-pound man hugs.
Listen, that is serious business because this man does not like to be touched or touch anybody other than his wonderful wife.
Yep. Yeah. It's 100% true.
So
if
he's offering that, that's pretty big right there.
It is a very rare offer.
Yeah. One time only.
I'm still stuck on the wrapper for your snapper.
Yeah, I seriously, that's so damn funny.
This reminds me.
I have never heard that term before, and then I heard it, and now that's all I want to use forever and ever and ever.
I want to keep talking about running backs a little bit because yesterday the NFL put out a quad box, one of those who's the best in the league
quad box
running back tandems. And their choices were fucking awful.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
So this is running back tandems.
It was running back tandems, and it was 4 of them. Who's the best tandem in the league?
Cleveland Browns.
100%.
Yeah, they were one.
The Raiders.
Denver Broncos.
No.
Neither one of those?
No.
I wouldn't have said the Raiders. You just didn't respond to him.
What did you say?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. No.
I thought the Drake-Jacobs combo.
No, that wasn't one of their choices. This is what I'm saying. The choices
football
were
team?
goddamn awful.
Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison.
No.
No football team?
Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines.
No.
Good God.
No.
Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
No.
What?
They were on. They had.
Okay, now I don't know.
They had
Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard.
They had the Saints.
Okay, that one's not terrible.
Okay. They had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That one's terrible.
With Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. Fuck off.
Zeke and Pollard?
They had the Cleveland Browns and they had Zeke and Pollard.
Okay.
Zeke and Pollard's dumb. Stop.
No,
There's a possibility.
that was one of the ones I didn't disagree with.
There's a possibility that neither of them are good. Because Zeke might show up like the fat
400-pound Ewok wicket.
like the fat poo sandwich that he was last year.
I mean, that's not what we're hearing.
Okay, let's play a fun
Not
game.
what we're hearing that he's in great shape.
Michael Whiteside, I've seen yours. I'll get to it in 2 seconds. Let me ask you a fun question. Other than Kadarius Toney, name me a player that you've heard anything negative about so far. I'll wait.
Yeah,
You see how you
Jordan
took a deep
Love
breath
for a
there?
little while.
Yeah, and then I can show you
and
things
then
that are
things
just
turned around.
glowingly.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Jordan Love. He throws such a
You have to be really bad for this early in camp, anybody to write anything bad about you.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence throwing 5 picks.
That's because Jacksonville is.
They got a lot of pub.
They're crazy people. Tua was in a monsoon.
Yeah, and he just
Jacoby
threw,
Brissett sucked too.
and he just threw 6 touchdowns in the same thing.
Be wary of falling too in love.
Yeah.
With just hearing glowing things. It's the guys that beat writers are just waxing poetic about.
Yeah.
From here on out, this is going to be Elijah Moore syndrome. Elijah Moore, I am a huge Jets fan. We all know that.
Yeah.
I have not read one camp article that did not say Elijah Moore's name.
Yeah, he looks like the second coming of Jesus, basically.
And to that, I'm almost at the same point with Trey Sermon of the San Francisco 49ers. Here's the thing that I'm going to caution you about with Trey Sermon. The hype has gotten stupid.
Yep.
It's dumb. Do you realize he only had 4 legitimate big games at Ohio State?
Yeah.
That makes me nervous. I was nervous about him coming. These two are going to test. I was not high on Trey Sermon. I like him as a receiving back in the NFL. That's what I think he will be because he cannot block. He can't. He had Ramondre Stevenson that made up for him at Oklahoma. The tape screams it, and there are people that would literally argue with that, and they're wrong. I struggle to believe he's going to be a... There are no every down backs in San Francisco. I struggle to believe he's going to supplant Raheem Mostert. If Mostert gets hurt, that could be different. Especially with Jeff Wilson already being hurt. I just think the hype train on Trey Sermon's getting a little stupid. Rookie running backs struggle with one thing almost universally, and that's picking up blitzes in the NFL.
Yep.
This kid didn't do that well at Ohio State. So that makes it hard for me to believe that he's going to be – I mean, with where he's going, he's got to get 15 to 18 touches a game, and I don't buy that that's going to happen week in, week out.
Right.
Raheem Mostert is still – that's still the guy.
Agreed.
I also, with San Francisco, I think 2 of their linemen have already gotten hurt. Like, not to, San Francisco's got some bad luck, but I think 2 of the linemen gotten hurt. I think they're depth pieces. So, but that just scares me a little bit too. I just think Kyle Shanahan's offense leads to a tough decision as far as a fantasy running back goes because it just seems to always be somebody different. And if I were have to choose, I think I would choose Raheem Mostert over him.
One of the questions I saw was about Josh Jacobs or J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
Which one of those do you trust more? And that got me to thinking about the running back tandem question because there are a lot of really good backfields.
J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards is the one that I didn't say that I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. See, that's it makes me lean more towards Josh Jacobs on this question.
I shouldn't because Kenyon Drake's going to get touches. The Raiders have told you that.
Gus Edwards is going to get touches.
But he always has. That didn't keep Mark Ingram in his Ravens heyday from being fantasy relevant.
Right.
This team runs a shitload. And you know what them taking J.K. Dobbins in the second round tells me? Now, granted, that was 2 years ago, but the fact that they have committed to J.K. Dobbins, the money they have given to Gus Edwards, I think you're going to see Lamar Jackson run less. I think they know this is not viable. You cannot keep letting him get hit like this.
Right.
Because teams now have figured out we can get a shot in on him.
Yeah.
He always tries to get the extra yards. Yes, he slides a lot, but we can still get that pop. I saw a stat.
But do you think that means more dedicated running back rushing plays? Or does that mean we're going to be throwing the ball a lot more because we just added two good receivers in the draft?
They will throw more.
Or in the offseason.
They will throw more. I have no fear of J.K. Dobbins. None. J.K. Dobbins is a guy that is going entirely too low. Let me just pull him up.
But you would take him over Josh Jacobs?
Yep, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
I'm going to be on the Josh Jacobs side of that because, yes, they did bring in Kenyon Drake, but they brought him in to catch passes, and that's not what
That's
Josh
not all
Jacobs
he's going
does.
to do. They didn't throw. Here's the thing. They didn't throw to Josh Jacobs in the first place.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's a question. Armchair Commentary, I think, had a really good question I'd like to answer. Is there anybody either who sat out or was underused last year that should be getting more looks? The one thing that I think...
Sat out would be a no.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody that sat out that would be fantasy
think
relevant.
there's one name that you like, Jeremy, Irv Smith, tight end in Minnesota.
I'm out on Irv Smith because Mike Zimmer came out and said that his role is not going to change.
Oh, wow.
Which is...
What?
Fucking stupid! Sorry, I haven't had the opportunity. I'm glad you brought that up because I haven't had the chance to say that yet.
Wow.
Mike Zimmer, damn you to hell, you wind-blistered little bastard. He's the most red-faced human being on planet Earth.
How is that possible?
I don't
Kyle
know.
Rudolph
I don't
leaving?
know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he has come out 2 separate times and said that the role's not going to change. So, yeah, I'm out on – it's not that I'm out on Irv Smith. He's just a streaming option.
Yeah.
He was a back-end tight end 1 to me because he's that good.
No doubt.
Now he's not so much.
I don't know if you would consider this name as someone who is underused, but I think is going to have a breakout kind of season. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to separate himself in Dallas as the number 1 this year. I think you're going to see a step back in Cooper. And I think you can I would be drafting CeeDee Lamb over Amari Cooper this year.
I would not be drafting CeeDee Lamb where he's going.
Where he's going?
He is going ahead currently of Robert Woods, Kenny Galladay, Tyler Lockett, Deontay Johnson,
wow.
Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., DJ Moore, Chase Claypool. I could keep going.
Yeah,
he's going at the back end of the
Chase
4th
Claypool.
round.
There's some names there that I definitely would draft over him.
Yeah, but you got to understand, there's 4 rounds between the 2 guys I just said. Chase Claypool's going in the 8th. CeeDee Lamb's going in the back end of the 4th.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
The guys directly in front of him, now I would take him over Amari Cooper. That's the one guy I'm going to say here. Chris Godwin's going 2 spots in front of him. Allen Robinson's going 4 spots in front of him.
Yeah, Allen Robinson would be very high.
Out. It's too high. Because there's too many mouths to feed. It's not a shot at the talent. There's too many guys there. They're not going to throw 50 times a game.
Yeah.
They're not. The defense is better than it was. They're not going to have to get in shootouts. Will they still be shootout-y? Yes. Dak's still going to be a 40 attempt a game kind of guy. I don't think you're going to see them in 45, 42 shootouts the way they were before he got hurt last year.
So is there anybody that you can think of? I know it's kind
underused.
That's kind of a tough question just to come off the top of it. Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen's a guy that got very much overshadowed by. And now, granted, his ADP has not gone down yet, but I think it will. There are a slew of guys behind Adam Thielen in ADP that I think he will end up going behind. Basically, anywhere that you see the new toy. Fantasy football players are, in large part, are comically beholden to the most recent thing they've seen.
Yes.
A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's will get dinged by Julio Jones, and it's stupid to me. They have 2 receivers with a pulse.
Yeah.
I do not care. I will take them both exactly where I would have taken them before. Julio Jones is a middle of the 4th round guy. A.J. Brown is back in the 2nd, high in 3. If I take 2 running backs and A.J. Brown sitting there in the 3rd round, I will happily take him.
Agree or disagree with Jonathan Welch, who says Lawrence overshadows Fields, but Fields is the long-term quarterback to have.
Fantasy football, 100%. It's not even close.
I agree.
It's not even close. Justin Fields could be a top 8 fantasy football quarterback moving forward.
I could see
I
that.
said when we did our quarterback fantasy football video, if I was drafting in a dynasty, Justin Fields is the first quarterback I'd take. I don't even think about it. I would consider taking Trey Lance over Trevor Lawrence. Problem is, I think it's either going to be a minute before he sees the field or he's going to see it too early. So I think he could get beaten up a little bit.
I think it's not only the best move for the long term. I think it's the best move for the short term. I think this rookie season is going to be Fields is the one. Trevor is the 2.
Trevor Lawrence is going to throw a lot of interceptions. I think it was Matthew Hoffman asked me in the comments, would you draft? Is Zach Wilson draftable? Yes, he is draftable. Depends on the league. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, Zach Wilson's going to be a guy that goes stupid late.
Yeah.
And I think he could be a viable QB2.
I would say.
With the weapons they have in a 2-quarterback league, Zach Wilson is a top 24 quarterback in this league.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier today. The Jets' wide receiver room is so good right now that Denzel Mims is a 5. You know,
Denzel Mims is the 5.
Wait, what?
Denzel Mims is running as the 5th receiver behind Crowder, Elijah Moore, Keelan Cole, and Corey Davis.
Well, Crowder's
and
not going to be there.
Yeah, he is. He
Oh, that's right. He resigned. I forgot.
We can't deal with him.
I forgot about that.
He gave back $5 million just to stay in New York.
Yeah. I had forgotten that had happened.
Yeah. Is Zach Wilson's mom a top 5 mom in the league? 100%. Zach Wilson's mom might be a top 5 mom in the world. Stacy's mom, Zach Wilson's mom. I mean, it's just fractionally off each other.
That's a nice throwback to high school.
100%.
Holy crap.
Oh, God.
What?
I just came up with something for that reel. I'm 100% going to sing Zach Wilson's Mom's Got It Going On. That's happening. That's just, you know what? We're going to have that playing over the credits.
There you go.
That's fucking just.
Yes.
Are we going to have the country version of Stacy's Mom's Got It Going On?
Well, here's the thing. Unless you're going to cut my voice box out, then yep.
Yep. It's going to be the country version.
Well, I think we need to figure.
Zach Wilson's mom has got it going on.
That's when we start talking about the redemption.
What?
Nothing. I was kind of an inside thing I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. The breakout.
Yeah.
I know where you're going. You know what? I can tell that part. So,
okay.
So the premise of the reel that we're doing is we're doing a behind the music on me. Uh-huh. If you remember behind the music, the VH1 show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's where that could be my breakout hit that gets me back on track. It's a brilliant idea.
I dig it. How about second year wide receivers that didn't really impress us last year, but might get a boost in year two? Jerry Jeudy.
I can't say Henry Ruggs aggressively enough.
Okay, he was going to be next.
I can't say Henry Ruggs firmly enough. Henry Ruggs is going to be a guy I am going to be all over. I'm going to be all over him.
Yeah.
Here's what people are not understanding. The raw rookies from last year did not get a camp. The fact that they are getting a camp this year and they're a year further in, Henry Ruggs was hurt the vast majority of last year. And he's a dude that I don't know exactly where he's going right now. I can look, but I can tell you it's going to be markedly lower than it should be. Holy shit, I have scrolled entirely. Holy good Lord. Where would you say Henry Ruggs is going right now in terms of wide receivers? Number
50.
You're too high. It's 55.
What?
He's going behind Cole Beasley. Talk less with Cole Beaslly. First of all, I love Cole Beasley. And if you know what he just said, you know why I love Cole Beasley.
But stop it. You're not going to retire.
Well, we all know he's not going to retire.
Yeah.
I do love somebody that has an opinion, is not afraid of blue check marks and voicing it. So, Cole Beasley, you have a friend in me.
He should definitely
You got a friend in me.
He should definitely be going earlier than 137.
100%. That's way too low.
Right.
He's going like the 12th
But where's the
round.
line in the wide receivers? Is there a definite line? Because for me, just looking at the ADPs, it's a whole mixed bag of like I could have 10 guys between 46 and 66 moved up over 10 guys who are 22 to 42.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I'm not a huge believer in Robbie Anderson.
I like Robbie Anderson.
I'm not.
Speaking of that, Robert Johnson asked us earlier, do I like DJ Moore this year with Sam Darnold? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you why?
Why?
A name we've already said on the show.
Jamison Crowder. I knew that's where that was going.
Yeah, I've seen him with slot guys.
Slot receivers do well with Sam Darnold.
And now, granted, part of that was Adam Gase, so, temper your expectations. Mm-hmm. He loves slot guys. Just remember, Adam Gase made Albert Wilson a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
To your point about second-year wide receivers, I think there's one that's glaringly obvious. That is Michael Pittman Jr. I love Michael Pittman. He's going to have a tremendous year. I think they obviously don't have a lot of wide receivers unless Carson Wentz, I think, is going to be better for them.
Right.
And then
Pittman Jr. is going 46. He's going 10 spots ahead of Henry Ruggs.
He's wide receiver one for sure.
It's not crazy. It's probably accurate.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he going above?
Name me a receiver that you would take of the Indianapolis Colts ahead of him.
None of them.
Yeah.
None of them. He's the one. He's the one guy in Indianapolis that I can trust.
There's another one that I just realized when I looked up this list. It's Laviska Shenault. Mm-hmm. Laviska Shenault is, I've talked about Elijah Moore a lot with the Jets.
Yep.
Laviska Shenault is the Jacksonville Jaguars' Elijah Moore.
Yeah, there's so much stuff coming out of him.
On him.
Jesus, it's crazy how much stuff is coming out of him.
Just want to throw this out there that I loved him when he was in the draft.
Yeah. One more, and it's just a lot of what I'm hearing is that T. Higgins has kind of separated himself in Cleveland.
Higgins has gotten a lot of pub out of Cincinnati.
I'm drunk on T. Higgins.
I don't think you should be.
I am.
Here's my problem.
You're worried about Jamar.
There's too many.
There's 3. They got 3 guys.
Four. Because they keep talking about Auden Tate.
Yeah.
I know that's the name that everybody thinks it's funny that Jeremy keeps saying Auden Tate. They keep talking about it.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a red zone threat.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, they keep talking about throwing to Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
They have made it very clear that they plan on throwing the ball to Joe Mixon out of the backfield more often.
Right. And it's obvious Joe Burrow has the connection with Jamar, and he's going to look his way a lot. I get it. I don't know. To me, I still think T. Higgins is the man. He's the one to trust there. He does have a lot more competition than Michael Pittman, though.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, Joe Burrow threw the ball a lot to Tyler Boyd last year, too. I mean, he trusts Tyler Boyd. I think he trusts Tyler Boyd better than any other ones, but I just think T. Higgins is going to separate himself as far as his route running and ability to get open.
Right. I mean, Justin Jefferson, I think, is still going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I think of the rookie wide receivers, I still think he's number 1 with a bullet. Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jalen Reagor. How about him?
Out.
Yeah, Jalen Reagor. I mean, they got Devontae Smith. He comes in and he's gonna draw some attention from the defense. They don't have to load up against Jalen Reagor. He's a good. That's a bad team. That is such a bad team.
Oh, by God, their fans don't think so.
No.
Good Lord, I get at least one from a Bengals fan every day.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Oh no, I was talking about the Eagles.
It's tough for me to even talk about
just Deshaun Watson shows up. That's all I'm gonna say. Just keep saying that, Dill.
It will help everything.
I'm gonna will it into existence.
Yeah. Oh, really?
100%.
You just gonna make that happen.
I just saw something that's absolutely mind-boggling. And according to Fantasy Pros, Young Ho Koo is being drafted aggressively above Elijah Moore.
No, don't do that. I'm glad you said that because somebody asked me in the comments, Matt Hoffman, what defense am I taking? None of them. I do not draft kickers. I do not draft defense.
Wait till the end.
I don't even wait till the end. I just don't take one. I take 0.
Some leagues you have to.
I don't play in those leagues.
Okay.
It's real simple. Do I have to take a defense? Okay, then I'm out. I'm out. Do I have to take a kicker? Oh, wait. You have kickers? I'm out.
So you're just not playing a defense at all?
No, I'll pick one up week 1. Somebody will get hurt. I'll put them on an hour.
Done.
And I'll pick up a stupid defense that doesn't mean jack shit.
Some leagues it does. My league of defense is.
I have a league that defense does matter.
Yeah. The year that New England a couple years ago when they were scoring basically 25, 30 points a game, that guy won in my league because of that.
Of the defense.
And that's also completely hard to predict.
Yeah.
It is.
No, I agree with that.
It is, but I also, what was it? We were talking about this the other day on our Fantasy Football for Dummies program that we did last Friday on ESPN Asheville. And I don't know, I went through the process of going through several mock drafts, and at the end of it, I waited to be the last one to take a defense. And I was getting, like, the Cleveland Browns defense was still available. And, people are not, the Broncos defense was one as well. I'm all over the Broncos defense.
Let me ask you a question. What was the difference per game between the best defense in the league and the 20th?
50 points.
It's 4 points a game. 4 points a game. That's it.
4 points per game.
Yeah, 4 points per game.
That's not that big of a difference.
No. Play the matchups week to week. It makes a lot of sense. But there are some leagues where you have to draft one because the waiver wire before week 1.
The difference between the number 1 defense in fantasy football and the worst one, who, by the way, scored negative points. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. The Detroit Lions had if you just didn't play a defense, you would have come out 5 points better than if you played the Lions every week.
Wow.
The difference there is the difference between Travis Kelce and the number 4 tight end in fantasy football.
Wow.
That's the difference between first and last. If you learn anything from us, do not take kickers. Do not draft defenses.
Yeah.
And if your league says, "Oh, you have to draft one," well, flip a table and quit. Right. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
I'm out.
Yeah, we will be playing fantasy football.
You know what you can show them? Your snapper. What was snapper clapper rapper? There you go.
Rapper for your snapper clapper.
We will be playing fantasy
He's
football
gonna get
with
that
you this
term
week.
later, and he's gonna be really mad that I said it on air.
We will be playing fantasy football with you this year. Look forward to more details coming out about our new Dynasty League campus to Canton League that we are going to be doing. We will get the final details out on that hopefully today.
We're gonna do a whole slew of leagues, a whole slew of them. Frankly, if there were 11 people that could get in here and draft tomorrow, I'd do one tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd be all over. I'd be just drunk on it.
Yeah.
Got boards and beers and
Fun things to play with. Yeah.
We got recliners.
We got a basketball hoop. We got 2 basketball hoops.
Yeah.
We got a lot of fun stuff.
We got a
over
fire stick.
yeah, we have very comfortable chairs that we can't figure out how to use on this set.
We're
going to figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, it's like those are awesome.
Especially if my back doesn't start to feel better, I may not get out of that chair.
Yeah.
today.
Right. So anyway, the Campus to Canton League details going to be coming out on that very, very soon. Don't forget to join us this afternoon. Do you have a monkey knife fight for tonight? All right, let's do that. We got a game in the NBA tonight. It is what is game?
The Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks.
Is this game 3?
This is game 2.
It was game 2. Oh yeah, that's right. This is game 2. See, I'm already checked out. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Go to monkeyknifefight.com, create yourself an account today, and when you sign up and make your initial investment, monkeyknifefight.com will match that up to $50, as well as give you a $5 free play if you use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, at monkeyknifefight.com. That $5 free play, by the way, you can use on tonight's game. Jeremy.
I am playing the more or less 3x multiplier between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. I will go under 33.5 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo because that is a shit load of points.
Right.
I'll go over on Trae Young.
Yeah.
He has to go over or this is a blowout.
And
He scored 48 and they won barely.
And I think Chris Middleton has to score.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're going to have to try to get him started early because that didn't work game 1. So
No, didn't work too well. So under the 33.5 for Giannis, which I agree is astronomically high, and then over the 31.5 for Trae Young. MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Use the promo code TANK. Get that deposit match up to $50 and the $5 free play. Coming up this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, 3 to 5 every weekday afternoon. Join us in the Ingalls studios, and of course we will be back here in the Wicked Weed studio Monday morning, right here for the Sportsocracy. Follow, like, and share on all the social medias. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Share it out with your friends. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you next week.